What's going on, guys? This is Chris with the Full Send Racing YouTube channel. We're back here today for episode 2 on the YouTube channel. We're just going to talk about some news that broke yesterday. We're going to jump into a little game, have some fun with some tier rankings. Before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-host, Mr. Tanner Marr. Tanner, how you doing today?
I am doing good, buddy. Excited to be here. Excited for, I don't know if we're going to call this episode number 2 or what, but we're here. Like you say, we got some tier rankings and some news broke yesterday. Spire Motorsports bringing in Daniel Suárez. Kind of out of left field. I was not expecting Daniel Suárez to be going to the 7 car.
Man, I'm right there with you. I mean, we left off the last episode. We were throwing out all these names and what's going to happen. Is it going to be Corey Heim? Is it going to be this guy? That Never did we say Daniel Suárez. We both pinned him going to the Xfinity Series. Awesome opportunity for Suárez. He's going to be able to stay in the Cup Series. And look, everyone says Spire Motorsports. They think of the bottom, tier team. They're rising up with the additions of Hocevar and the talent he's brought to the team, the leadership and the experience Michael McDowell has brought to the team. Now you bring in a bona fide race winner in the Cup Series, someone you know that's going to perform on the road courses, someone who's won. I mean, he's been up front and lost some of the closest races in NASCAR history the past few years at Atlanta every year. The guy is going to bring some race wins to Spire. He's going to bring a little more leadership to Hocevar and kind of really amp up. And look, if it's me and I'm SVG and I'm looking at road course competition, now you got two really, really solid road course racers on the Spire Motorsports team to kind of battle with SVG, and I'm excited for Suárez. We mentioned it last podcast, with him getting kind of out of track house. It wasn't really a lack of performance as much as it was they were just making room for Connor Zilic. So I'm glad to see him stay in the Cup Series, and I know we talked about it, man. That was a big surprise in the NASCAR world, but good for Suárez, man.
It's kind of crazy to think of Suárez, but he is a veteran in the Cup Series now. He's raced at JGR, he's raced at SHR, he's Trackhouse now, and then going down to Spire, bringing over Michael McDowell last year. That shows that Spire used to be a start and park team, right? But now they're going all in. They're trying to put the talent there. I know they brought in Roddy Childress last year. Didn't really work out. They ended up letting him go earlier this year. But they're trying to put the pieces to the puzzle to try to be able to compete on Sundays. And Suárez, he's kind of under the radar guy, but he'll net you more positive than negative to the 7 car, I do believe.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great move, and look, if you look at it on a broader scale of things and you take it off the track, NASCAR right now is expanding. We're getting global races, we're racing outside of America, we're trying all these different things. A lot of credit for that goes to Daniel Suárez. Daniel Suárez is the sole reason we raced in Mexico City last year. We went down to his home race. I mean, and it was such a huge deal for Suárez to be able to go home and race in front of his country, his fans. And to be honest with you, he's brought a whole nother fan base into the sport with, having an awesome Mexican heritage driver in NASCAR. It's good to see that Suárez sticking in the Cup Series. That would have really been a bad deal if Suárez comes in and he helps with all this expansion for NASCAR, and then he gets sent back down to the Xfinity Series. So very happy for Daniel. I know he is excited probably for a fresh, brand new start with a new team and see what he can do. And we look forward to seeing that 7 car up front at all the road courses, super speedways, and hey, look, maybe even some Kansas and some Las Vegas and stuff, man. Suárez is a good race car driver, and he'll definitely get about uptick in performance for that 7 car. So
he's always sorry to but
no,
he's always kind of been like in a bad situation in regards to there's always somebody a little bit better behind him needing that seat, right?
Yep.
See it with Trackhouse, we see it with JGR. Who it was Truex took over the 19 car, right?
Yeah.
So there's always a bigger name right after him. So he always kind of just gets pushed out of the fold.
But look, hey, he's stuck strong with it. At this point of his career, some would label him kind of a journeyman because he's going around from team to team. But you have to earn that right. There's guys that come up, and when they lose rides, they get sent to lower series. And Suárez has earned the right to stick around the Cup Series. He's proven he can win here. He's been in the playoffs. He's done everything you need to do as far as a NASCAR Cup driver to get by and stay in the Cup Series. I'm excited to see with this move to Spire if maybe he can now go up another notch and see if he can maybe go to maybe a double win season or 3 wins in a season. We'll see what Suárez can do in the 7 cars. So good move for Spire, good move for Suárez. I think it's a win-win for everybody all across the board. So we got a little fun game we're going to play today, Tanner. We're going to do a NASCAR drivers tier ranking. We're We're going to stick with only the Cup Series. We'll go ahead and pull it up on our screen now. As you can see, we got our tiers listed out for everybody who doesn't know anything about how the tier rankings work. Basically, pretty simple. Your D, I'm not gonna call them the worst or anything, but that's your lower class. You know, it's gonna be your rookies, your up and comers, your beginners in the series, or your lower end teams and things like that. And then it goes all the way up to S tier, and everybody wants to be in that S tier. Your S tier is the cream of the crop. It's gonna be your guys fighting for championships, your race winners, your lap leaders. So we're gonna go through. We got 5 different tiers here. As you can see, we've got all the drivers ranked from Chastain all the way down to Suarez. And we're going to go through and we're going to rank them. Tanner, how do you want to attack this, man? You want to start with go ahead and knock the D class out first, or do you want to go ahead and knock the heavy hitters in the S class out first?
I think we gotta start with D, right? But I want to lay the groundwork here. So I'm excited about this because me and you have not actually talked about our rankings.
Nope.
So I have a blank sheet of notes in front of me. I have no notes today.
Yep.
We're just winging it. So are we ranking them based off their season this season, or are we ranking them based off this season and their future outlook?
I think 75% this season, and then if you're on the verge of someone being between tiers, like let's say a CB guy, if they're right in the middle of it, that's whenever we can bring in and say, but I see this guy being this guy, and he's a C now, but next year I could see him being a B, or he's a B now, and next year with a team change or something, I could see him being a C. But basically, let's stick with this year. Let's go solely off of 2025 and let what we think of their future be the tiebreaker if it comes down to that. So we'll start with D. I'll let you have the first crack at this too. So who would be your first driver that you'd want to go ahead and label into the D tier?
I wasn't prepared, but I mean, you got to say the 51, right? I mean, I know Cody Ware, Rick Ware. I know they're putting in the money, right? They are trying to up the funding. They brought in Tommy Baldwin as a competition director. I love listening to him on DBC. You hear the insights to a Cody Ware season. Listening to the podcast, they're trying to improve, but sadly, I think Cody Ware would have to be my first nominee for a D class driver for this current season.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. And look, it's not a knock on Cody. Like you said, the team's building, they're growing, and we set out a section our first episode that we were going to give a huge shout out to Rick Ware, and I think we actually went by. We were talking about all the craziness with Talladega and the round of 8 and this and that. I do want to give a shout out to Rick Ware Racing. So, for those that don't know, Luke Baldwin, Tommy Baldwin's son, actually helped win the Owners' Championship in the Cars Tour. So, we talked about it that when we opened the show, we're going to give credit where credit is due. If you're in NASCAR, short track, it doesn't matter. If you're just a basic NASCAR fan, you look at the 51 car and Rick Ware Racing, you say, oh, they're a field filler. They're just out here trying to, really build what they can from it. Guys, Rick Ware Racing is a behemoth of the short track scene. Basically, they're winning the Owners' Championship. Luke Baldwin don't call a shot here, Luke Baldwin may end up in the Trucker Xfinity Series in the next couple of years, and it is strictly off of what he's doing in the short track scene for Rick Ware Racing. So, and look, shout out Cody Ware as well. I think 2025 alone, I think we've seen that 51 car and Rick Ware Racing lead laps at their super speedways more than ever. Cody Ware's car has been up front at every single super speedway at some point, from the 500 to Atlanta to both Talladegas. The car's led laps, gotten much needed TV time for their sponsors, their team, credit to their team. They're showing up, they're racing, and it's only up from here. Those guys are growing, and who's to say the next few years Rick Ware Racing doesn't bring in another car and start building off of it. So it will be our first driver on the D tier. Once again, not a knock to them. It's just, hey, we're here to do a job and list guys off, and he's just got to be the first one. So if I'm looking at this D tier. All right, Tanner, and I think my next guy for the D tier, I think I'm going to have to go with the 41 of Cole Custer. What do you think about that?
I agree. We've seen Cole have great seasons in the Xfinity Series, right? Championship caliber seasons on Saturdays. This season, though, it's not been as high for the 41. I know a new team starting out with the Haas Factory team. I think Cole Custer, I think Kentucky. Winning at Kentucky, outdueling some of the favorites there. So prove there to have the talent. Maybe just needs the equipment behind him to try to raise up the rankings.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that. And look, hey, we got to remember, this is SHR's first year going down to just one team. They lost a lot of star power in that building as far as engineers, crew chiefs, mechanics, drivers, everything. So even though the name stayed the same, it's still the 41 car. It's still Cole Custer. We got to kind of imagine this as a rebuild from ground up for SHR. So, shout out Cole Custer. Big finish. They needed that finish at Talladega last weekend. It was a really good sign to see him up front there at the end. Get some much needed recognition for that team. And yeah, for now, I think Cole is, that D class has got to kind of be right where he is for this tier. So, moving on to another driver for the D tier. This is where it gets tricky because now you're starting to get into a couple guys where, are they D tier? Are they C tier? If they were in better equipment, would they be higher? If is the car underperforming? I think my next two, Tanner, I think we'd have to go between either like a Noah. And remember, this is 2025 performance.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have to go with either Noah Gragson or Ty Dillon. Would probably be my next pick for the D tier.
I would be perfectly content with both of those. So I told you I don't really have any more D tier guys, but I forgot about Noah Gragson. That's how under the radar the 4-car's been.
Yep.
Underwhelming, we'll call it. I mean,
yeah,
call a spade a spade. It's been underwhelming for the 4-car. And then Dillon, I mean, colleague, I think they got their eyes set somewhere else. And if you follow our Twitter, we'll do a cheap little plug here. We are breaking news every day. As soon as we see it, we repost it. We're trying to be more involved in that sphere over there on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think colleague and the 10, I think they just got their eyes shifted somewhere else, meaning the new Ram trucks coming to the Truck Series next season.
Oh yeah. We've been seeing it all week long. That they're pushing all their chips in on black, with black being the Dodge Ram at this time. So it'd be exciting to see what Colleague does. Does kind of suck for the guys like Ty Dillon who are in the Cup Series running the Chevrolet cars right now, because you got to think they're not getting much help from the Chevrolet side of it right now, considering that they are the guy running the show basically for the Dodge entrance into NASCAR. So I think that's about it for D tier. Tanner, do you have anybody? I don't really think I have anyone else that I'd want to list in the D tier, man. I think we can move on to C.
Yep, and the first driver that, and it may be random, right? But the first driver I think of for C, John Hunter Nemechek. He's been another
right
guy.
There with you. Yep.
He's been another guy that you could honestly maybe put him in D, but it seems that just one random week, the 42 car will be top 15, top 10, right?
Yeah.
And then the next week he might be sub 30th. So they've hit on some stuff some weeks, and then other weeks they're pedestrian.
Yeah. Look, John Hunter Nemechek and that 42 car. I will say there was a brief second this year in the midsummer run. There was about 5 or 6 weeks where if he was continuing what he was doing, he was knocking on the B tier class. I mean, him and Eric Jones, for some reason, Legacy Motorsports in the middle of this year, right before like the 5 or 6 races leading up to the playoffs, they were hitting on all cylinders. They're still running pretty good, pretty good for Legacy. Relatively new team, co-owner Jimmy Johnson really, I've heard stories this year that he's really stepped in and tried to be more vocal, more part of the team. And I mean, anytime you have a 7-time champion say, hey, I'm going to come be a part of this thing a lot more instead of just a name on the building, I think that has helped their performance this year. I think Nemechek in a C tier is a really good option. With Nemechek being a C tier, do we want to put Eric Jones C tier?
Yeah. So yeah. I just looked up stats. If you just, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who do you think's ranked better in the standings, John Hunter or Eric Jones?
With the way you're pitching that question,
right?
It's like you would think Eric Jones.
Right.
Nemechek's probably got it just because the way you asked it. So I'll say Nemechek. Yeah.
Nemechek's 24th. Teammate Eric Jones 25th. They're right there, neck and neck, and that shocks me, right? Because in my head, I'm like, Eric Jones, he should be a B class. He's won Darlington and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the stats, I mean, John Hunter Nemechek has 8 top 10s this year. That flies under the radar. I would have never guessed that, right? So maybe we are devaluing what the 42 cars brought to the table because he's been good this season. But Eric Jones, I'm perfectly content with him being also a fellow C-class driver. So the one thing I like about Legacy is we've seen teams like Furniture Row come in, and they really depend on JGR help, right? We've seen 2311. They are a satellite JGR team. Yep. Legacy said, screw that. We're going to do it all ourselves. Yes, we brought in Jimmy Johnson. Yes, we may have rebranded from the Petty Motorsports days, that kind of stuff, right? But they are doing it all on their lonesome.
Yep.
And
And that's
I
a
mean,
sense of satisfaction too. Whenever you start
right,
to get
absolutely.
those finishes and that performance starts to really show, knowing
Yep.
that you and your team are doing it all on your, by yourself, that's a big deal. So, credit to those guys at Legacy. I could honestly see them being some B tier drivers maybe next year. Who's to say the performance doesn't tick up one more notch again? It's a steady learning curve in these cars in this series. You're always wanting to adapt and change the stuff, and they're doing a really good job at it right now. And if they keep going, Eric Jones, like you said, he's a crown jewel winner. The guy is one of the he. Anytime we go to Darlington, whether you think about Eric Jones or not, you have to have him in the back of your mind.
Yep.
And when you have a guy on your team that you know is going to go out to one of the toughest racetracks on the schedule and he's going to perform and has a chance to win, having a guy like that to really lean on, and then the young talent, which I say young for Nemechek, but I mean it feels like John Hunter's been around forever. I mean we talked
Right.
about it in the show the other week how he was in the Cup Series, decided to take a step back. I'm gonna go re-pitch my brand, rebuild my value in the Truck Series, and now here he is again, building a career in the 42 car. So props to Legacy, the C tier, man. That is it's not a knock on them. It's just there's so many good drivers and good teams in the Cup Series, and they're steadily moving their way up. So my next guy for the C tier, Tanner, and this might be a surprise to a lot of the listeners, the viewers, the fans of NASCAR. There's a reason I didn't mention his name in D. So we talked about it in the beginning of it. Is this going to be based off of this year or performance? So my pick for this guy, I hate to say it, I kept him going to C just off of what I think he could be in the future. I don't want to put him D because I think he's got enough
I'm trying to
talent.
guess in my head right now. I'm
Yeah,
playing a
yeah.
game. Like who is
I
he going
think
to?
we have to throw Riley Herbst now into the C tier. Riley Herbst has not had the greatest year. He has showed flashes here and there. He's ran up front in the top 10 here or there, hit or miss. But I do think Riley Herbst is somebody in the next year or so that could spark and start to get the top 15s, get the top. He'll be right on the brink of top 15s, I think, next year. And I think that's kind of what can put him in the C class. I think the team 2311 has a lot to do with his ranking here. I think we got to put Riley Herbst in the C class. What is your opinion on him?
I'll be honest. I forgot about him. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot about him. In my head, he should be. In my head, the hater in me says
Yeah.
he should be D class. Right? When I think of 2311, or you ask some random other NASCAR fan, they're gonna think of Tyler Reddick,
Yep.
Bubba Wallace, and you're like, wait, what about Riley Hurt? Oh yeah, he races there. I forgot about him.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, you say I'm cool with you putting him in C, right? We're going to agree to disagree on a lot of these rankings tonight. I know, especially when we get up to the top, we're going to
Yeah.
agree to disagree on some, right? That's the beauty of the rankings, right?
So we'll do this.
I forgot about
We'll
him.
put him D for this year's performance because that's what this tier is supposed to be off of.
I don't even know if he'll have a seat in the next 2 years. Honestly,
I think he will. I think he will. We talked about Herbst. He's got a lot of backing. He's got a lot of funding. I think
he does.
with that funding and him being able to get more seat time, that funding's buying him seat time. And the seat time's going to buy him experience and hopefully finishes. And I think the back half of this year, I mean, I remember vividly running Bristol a few weeks ago, and he was running really solid at Bristol. Him and so you mentioned it at the end of the show Tuesday that when Corey Hyman's got in the 2311 car, he hasn't really performed. I went back and double checked that. He finished 6th at Bristol a few weeks ago in the 2311 car. Riley Herbst was up in the top 10 at points of that race. So Riley Herbst, I think, is somebody that with the funding he has, the seat time he's getting, I do think we had this conversation and we ranked these tiers this time next year. I think Riley Herbst is easily going to be a C class driver.
I'm good with that.
So now we'll move on to another C. Trying to look through the list here. Man, there's so many guys that you want to put C. Do you want to put B? You got anybody in mind that you automatically want to put in the C class, Tanner? I'm thinking,
There's one guy.
Yeah.
Who are you saying?
I was gonna say maybe Todd Gilliland.
That okay, and I was thinking his teammate that just got signed to a multi-year deal today, Zane Smith. I feel like
Really?
Zane Smith has been a guy that he came into the Cup Series with a lot of hype, right? When the Truck Series title, that stuff had a lot of hype behind him, and now I might be a Riley Herbst hater. I'm not a Zane Smith hater. I think Zane Smith is going to be the real deal. I really do. I stand by that. Bookmark it. I think in a few years he's going to be popping off race wins. I truly do. I think the talent's there. I think the same with Gilliland. I think both of them guys are talents. They are talents, just waiting to hit that next level.
Yeah, front row's got two really, really young drivers right there, just waiting to explode and really build and build that team up. So, and look, they've got a third driver in Gregson who has showed he can do it too. Front row right now, they might be
They're built for
having
the
a,
future. They're
yeah, they
built for the
are.
future.
They are definitely built for the future. And look, I'll give front row credit. They're the most entertaining team. If you follow any NASCAR social medias, if you follow NASCAR Twitter, everything like
Yeah.
that, the video that those three teammates put out this week for the San Diego release was absolutely hilarious. So props to front row for looking into the future, grabbing three really good young drivers right now. I know Noah hasn't really performed to what they need him to, and Zane and Todd have kind of overperformed a little bit in some aspects. But that team is built for the next 3 or 4 years that if they stick as a group, they stick together, they're going to be somebody that, you could see some race wins every year from that team. So I'm good
When I
putting
think
Zane
of
Smith and Gill in the C tier.
when I think of Todd, I think he's going to evolve into one of the best plate racers.
Yeah.
You think back at Atlanta, he led a bunch of laps at Atlanta this year.
Yep.
I don't know about Daytona on the top of my head, but I remember watching Atlanta saying, "Whoa, where'd this kid come from?" And he led all kinds of laps that day.
Yep.
Uh, was a front runner at Dega for a huge chunk of the race. Finished second at Dega. I think yes, the Fords are good at plate tracks, right? They're good, just naturally good at the super speedway tracks.
Yep.
But I think Gilliland is going to become next tier when it comes to the drafting tracks, as the TV telecast calls it.
I got you. It sounds like Tanner's got a hot take here. He sees that 34 car getting in victory lane at a super speedway the next year.
I could.
Yeah. Hey, he's gonna have 6 opportunities next year to park that thing in
Right.
victory lane, and he's been up front at a lot of the super speedways, and you never know it. Your Talladegas and Daytonas. It one guy pulls out a line, and there's 34 ready to capture. I think that's the good thing about the 34. He's one of those drivers that lays in the weeds at super speedways. He doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't get
Right.
caught up with crazy blocks and crazy moves. He just steadily works his way
Yep.
forward, and at the end of all these races, he's right there. And who's to say, one guy makes one bad block and it opens the door, and bam, you got your first career win in the Cup Series for the 34. So, as far as C class, I think that really has to me, that has everybody covered. I mean, the next guy I would possibly put in, yeah, no, I think I would definitely put him in the C class would be Ricky Stenhouse.
Yep, I was thinking Ricky Stenhouse, and I'm also going to go one further. And now this may be where the disagreements start.
Okay.
I think Austin Dillon. See, yes, he won Richmond. He bowled his way up into Richmond win, right?
Yeah.
Did he win at Texas? He's won. So he's won on different style tracks, but I don't know. I just
No, I'm right
maybe
there
I'm just
with you.
down on RCR.
So-
Maybe I'm just down on RCR.
Here's my thing with the C tier. I think a difference between a C tier and a B tier is race wins. Austin
Okay,
Dillon does have a race win this year.
He does.
Think. Oh man, Tanner, we're
I
missing.
forgot Dillon won this year. I forgot.
Yeah, and look, this is where these tiers get fun because you get thinking about everything and you do forget guys. And we're going
Yep.
strictly off of 2025 performance. There's a big name in this list that I think if we're going based off of this year's performance,
Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
it's not who you're thinking. I know who your
Okay.
guy is, and it's not that guy.
He could be.
I wouldn't do.
He absolutely. He could be there though. He absolutely could be
Look,
there.
if we put the guy I'm thinking in there, we might have to put Rowdy in there. But I'll tell you who I was thinking of first, just based off of performance this year. And it's no fault to his own. The team's just kind of struggled. I think Keselowski is really, really underperformed this year.
Yep.
I think Keselowski's way back in points. He's not Busch back in points, but he's way back in the points. He just hasn't had a great year for Brad Keselowski standards and really RFK standards. Past few years, they've been multiple race winners every year. Now his teammate Buescher's still showing that. He's still running up front. He's still, contending. Getting spun from the lead at Talladega seems to be his number one thing. I think it's happened the last 3 years there. He's been
Right.
leading on the back straightaway. But yeah, I think if we're going strictly off of performance based, I think we got to go Brad Keselowski in the C tier.
I think Keselowski, and as put a stake in my heart, I think Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch has to be C tier.
I'm sorry, Rowdy Nation. I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I'm like the leading member of Rowdy Nation. I feel like on Sundays, but we gotta be.
That's
gotta
brutal.
Be fair.
That's brutal to
Gotta be
see that
fair.
8 car down on C tier, man. Oh man, that hurts my heart.
I
But
said it on Tuesday. I'll say it now. Get him out of RCR, please. That's just a fan of me, though. That's just.
Man, we're bouncing all over the place, and we got another driver I think we forgot. And this is a guy, I'm going to let you pick if he goes D or C. I hate
Let
to
me hear
do
it.
it, man. Dragging that 6 car up, dragging that 8 car up. Justin Haley. What are we gonna do with
I
Haley?
think we missed him. I think we missed
Yeah,
him really. Uh,
I think that's kind of
we,
how his whole season's been too. You kind of just you missed him out there, yeah,
yeah,
and that sucks to say because I vouched for him in the show the other day. I think Justin Haley is a superb race car driver, especially on super speedways. It just has not been a great year for Haley. Um,
he's got 2 top 10s, 1 top 5.
yeah, so I think
Average finish of 22nd.
I think we got to go D tier for Haley too. I mean, and I
Yep.
hate to do it to you, Justin Haley, man. I got to do it, but the year you've had, I will say, the year you've had, they're moving on and bringing in Suarez. I think that does say a lot, about the performance of the 7 cars. So I feel so bad putting these drivers down on the D tier, but man, this is the Full
Right.
Sin Racing podcast, and we got to be fair, and we got to, we can't come on here and be nice sometimes, man. We
Right.
gotta do what we
Well,
gotta do, and
that's the beauty of the tier rankings, right? I mean, no matter what, somebody's feelings going to get hurt. And
yep.
now, I'm not saying they'll ever watch this, right? But a fan base feelings might get hurt here. And also, the beauty of the tier rankings is in the comments down below. Let us know just how dumb we are in some
Yeah,
takes, right?
and where
And
you
I'm
would rank guys.
right, exactly.
Oh
Uh,
man, what are we doing with Ryan Priest, Tanner? Priest has showed flashes this year, but he, like I said earlier, I think the difference between C and B is just getting in victory lane, and Priest has just failed to do
I love
that. But
Priest. I love Ryan
I
Priest too.
know he's one of
Anytime
like
y'all see,
he's
if
the
y'all hear me typing over here, it's because I'm looking for stats, right? And Ryan Priest is a guy that I don't know if the stats are going to back it here, but 12 top 10s, 3 top 5s, 1 pole award, average finish of 16th. I think
that's middle. That's B. I think that's
I think
B.
that's B. That
That's B
sounds like
class.
a B class driver for me there.
Okay,
So we
well
may be
look, just so we don't let's go ahead and put Priest up here just to make it feel
right.
good. We're gonna go ahead and set him up there so we don't. Ryan Priest, you're good at B. I'm glad to see
Uh,
you up there. I was really getting worried that we were gonna have to put you at C, so I'm glad we
Right.
put you at B there.
That's a fellow short tracker too. He's come
Yeah.
from the modified scene up in the Northeast and has actually been dealt some tough breaks in NASCAR. And
Yep.
finally, it was like as if SHR, we're gonna go back to him. They collapsed. It was like Priest kind of fell upwards instead of fell downwards, and I was really, really happy to see him land at RFK. I'll be honest, when the news broke, I was a little nervous. I did not know how RFK would do with a third car in the mix, but I think he's been pretty good. He's been
He
pretty good.
has. He has, and there's been times this year he's been the leading RFK car, leading
Yeah,
the charge,
yeah.
and running up front. So Tanner, I want to switch this up a little bit because we're we're forgetting people, we're skipping people. Let's just start with the car numbers. Let's go
That's
to
what I want
Ross
to do.
Chastain.
Right, it makes it easier
Yeah,
for us.
let's go to Ross Chastain. I'm gonna let you drive the bandwagon here because
Nope,
me and
no,
you have had we've
nope,
had our Ross Chastain discussions.
nope. I'm not doing it. What would you rank him?
I'm putting
What?
Ross Chastain in B tier. He can win races. I think he is a very good race car driver. I think the excitement and the hard hat, lunch pail, do anything I got to win kind of mentality really drives the respect and the what people think of Ross Chastain. He's hard not to like. He's smashing the watermelons. He's doing the crazy wall rides. He's coming across the Roval finish line backwards. So he's a crowd favorite. But I'm just going strictly off of on the track, finishing positions and things like that. And I think it'd be hard to put Ross anything above B. Now, that doesn't say he didn't run an A tier race all race long.
Right.
Maybe he just made a crazy move. Maybe he sped on pit road. Maybe tried to take a 3 wide move that didn't work, and it hurt his finishing spot. But at the end of the day, that's what goes in the record books. That's what goes in the history, and I think that's kind of how I rank Ross Chastain. I think he's a B tier driver, and look, if he caught. And he has, really, this past year, we've not seen nowhere near the sporadic craziness from Ross Chastain. And he started finishing well and well and well in, the top 10, top 12, almost
But
consistently.
they have tamed him down.
Yeah.
His finishes have not been nearly as good this year as when he was being a little bit. Yeah, he was checkers or records last season. He
Yep.
absolutely was. But if he was checkers, he was top 5 checkers.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they would pull the reins off of him and say, "Have at it, boys, have at it." Like classic NASCAR saying, right? Boys, have at it. Let him be what he's going to be. I'm going to read off the stats to you real quick for Chastain, right?
Okay. Okay.
34 races, one race win, 11 top tens. I'm shocked at that. I thought it was more. Honest to God, I would have guessed probably about 13, 14 top tens. Only three top fives, and one of them came at the win at Charlotte, right? So he's really only finished top 10 or top five, excuse me, twice,
Yep.
other than the race he won. So I wanted to argue with, I wanted to fight, I wanted to die on the hill that he should have been A, but I'm good with him being a B.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good with him
And
being a
look,
B.
and we both have just said it. He has A tier talent. The guy
Yeah,
is a
absolutely.
phenomenal race car driver. And like you said, a lot of it probably has to do with them pulling the reins back. It's kind of, some guys only know 100%, 110%, and whenever you back a guy down, it's like telling a football player to go out there and play full speed. That's usually when people get hurt, is when they're
Right.
not playing full speed. And that's same with race car drivers. If you tell them to go out there, if they only know how to do it one way, and that is pedal to the metal, I'm sticking my tongue out and letting it ride, and you pull it back, they might lose that edge a little bit. And
But
um,
when you're second guessing yourself at 180, 185 miles
yep,
per hour, you don't have. I mean, it's you got to snap. You don't have a second moment to second guess anything.
yep, I'm right there with you. So we're gonna move on to Austin Cindric and the 2 car. So you made me lead the bandwagon with Chastain. What do you feel about Cindric, Tanner?
I think he's man.
I might
I
agree
think
with you. Say what you think.
I I think he's C tier. I mean, I personally I think he's C tier.
Mhm.
I want to pull up the stats. So we should have had all these stats put up, but man, I would have had 35 tabs opened up. So let me pull up the stats on Cedric just to make sure I 100% agree. 'Cause some of these guys do fly. Oh, he's C tier. He does have a race win. Hey,
Yeah.
where did he win at? Where? Why is that
It was beginning of the
escaping me?
year. I'm pretty sure it was
It's
early.
escaping me. Where he won at? Oh, no, he won the duel Talladega. He
He
won at
won the
Dega.
Spring Dega. Okay.
Yep. So he
Okay.
has one win, only five top tens and two top fives. That screams C tier to me, especially
I
when
think a
you're
big
in.
part of that, Tanner, too. I think a big part of him being C tier, not only is it Austin Cindric, but you have those stats in a Penske car. I
That's what I was
think
good at.
that,
You're
yeah.
in a top three manufactured car.
Yep.
I mean, you can argue what number Penske is in that pecking order, right? But it's Penske. It's
At the end of the day, it's Penske. Yep. Just
right,
like you said.
right.
And look, he's been a race winner before. He's been in the playoffs, every year. I think almost of his career. He's a Daytona 500 champion. I mean, the guy's a good race car driver. I just think you're in Penske.
Where's the road course went for him? I mean,
Uh,
because when he was in Xfinity, he was like the guy battling with the
yeah.
dingers. He was
Yep.
the guy up front mixing it up and put on a show at these road courses. Well, where has that went on
Yeah.
Sundays? Is that a Penske problem? 'Cause I
I
don't
think it's
know.
a, I think it's a driving style, man. He's got the
I do too.
same
I think the
look.
car
We can say
don't.
the same thing about AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger
Yep.
has not been somebody dominant. Now he's still a road course ringer in my eyes. AJ
Right.
Allmendinger's still always up front, but we're used to AJ Allmendinger lead laps, winning races in road courses. I think the change to the next gen car really changed because some of these guys had that Gen 6 car figured out on the road courses, and my guy Chase
You
Elliott is
manhandled
one
it.
of them. Yeah.
You manhandled it, right?
Yep.
And whereas this car is more, I believe. Now I've never sat in it, right? But I've done iRacing, and it feels
Hmm.
like it's more finesse based than it
Yes.
is get out here and make speed.
Yep, it is finesse based, and the advantages that people had in the Gen 6, like the outbraking and things like that. It's so hard to outbrake guys now just because of how big the brakes are on these
Right.
cars and how big the tires and everything are.
Unless your
So
name's SVG.
yeah, unless you can right foot brake and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, or heel toe and all the crazy footwork that the Australians have, then it's definitely hard. So we'll move on. We almost listed him a minute ago. Are we sticking Austin Dillon in the C tier?
He
I
might be
know
below it.
I said the difference between C and B is a race win, but besides the race win, I mean Austin Dillon really hasn't been relevant ever this year, except for Richmond. And we all knew going into Richmond how that 3 car was going to perform. It wasn't a surprise.
They found something out. They
Yeah,
have figured
yeah.
something out.
They know Richmond, but we all left Richmond going, well, he'll run 25th next week. Like
Right.
we all knew that. It wasn't. There was no. Hey, is Austin Dillon here? Like, is he going to start running up front after this win? No. We knew Richmond was going to be a 3 car up front, possibly winning this race type race, and it played out that way. And then ever since then, he's same old 3 car. I think that whole organization, um, is kind of struggled this year, and the only reason I know I said a minute ago the difference between C and B is a win. I can't. I mean, I'm gonna have to magically give you my mouse or something. I can't put Austin Dillon in the B tier with Kyle Busch sitting
No,
in C tier. I can't do it.
no.
Can't do it.
I mean, the stats just scream C tier. Maybe the race win might be propping him up from D in my mind. Honest to God,
Yeah.
he's had one top five. Guess what? It was Richmond. He won the race. Five top tens. Uh, I don't know. It just maybe I'm just out and down on RCR, like I said earlier.
No, I
But
mean, it's facts. It's
right,
straight facts. Austin Dillon has not performed. I mean, that's just it is what it is. I don't
it
think
feels like
there's.
we've waited around for years. Maybe not so much recently, but there for a while we were like, okay, this the year that Dylan kind of breaks through and maybe picks up a win or two. And
Yep.
I mean, heck, he won the Truck Series Championship in 2011.
Yeah.
The guy's been around, like he's closer to the end of his career than he ever is to the beginning of his career. So
Yep. And
I
we're still
think what
sitting
you
here
see is what you
going,
get.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a perfect way to put it right there. What you see is what you get with Austin Dillon.
Right,
And
right.
what we're seeing right now and what we've seen the past few years is C tier driver. Not a
Yep,
knock on Austin Dillon. Love the sponsors, love the 3 car. Just is what it is.
yep.
Here's where we're
These
about
next
to.
four. I mean,
Yeah.
these next four, you can just go ahead and put the forks down, boys and girls. We're not going to rank these guys any lower than S, right? I mean, Kyle
I,
freaking Larson,
Kyle
bro.
Larson is S tier all day of the week, every day. I mean, we've had the conversation. I don't know if we have, but there's conversations in the motorsports world. Is he one of the best drivers in the planet? So, I think Max Verstappen has something to say about that. I'd love to see somehow, some way, them two be on the same track in the same car at the same time.
Do you think Max Verstappen could wheel a midget around Chili Bow?
I'll say this, and this is gonna start it up right here. And I'm for Larson, best driver in the world. I want to say that
Okay.
very clearly. I agree on that. I think he is. I think Max Verstappen could jump in a midget and perform better than Larson could jump in an F1 car and perform.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that's where now can Max Verstappen. Here's the here's the difference with Kyle Larson. Max Verstappen can hop in a midget car, practice, 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 go race. He's gonna do good. He's one of the best drivers in the world himself. The difference with Kyle Larson goes from midget car to
late model,
late
sprint
model
car.
to NASCAR to IndyCar within like 4 days. Like he's
Yep.
flying around doing it all and winning. I mean, I think there's points this year. He won on Tuesday in like a midget car. Goes and hops in a sprint car, and then hops in an Indy car and a freaking NASCAR all in the same week. Like the guy is insane. He and look, we were talking about Ross Chastain earlier. You know, making some crazy moves. Kyle Larson is known for being that guy in NASCAR that if there's a hole to be, a nose stuck into, he's
But
gonna
detriment to
try it.
himself sometimes.
Yeah,
He tries it.
and it definitely hurts him.
He
But
does.
the dude is just an insane driver. Is he tied, or did Denny take? Denny has the most wins now this year. I think Larson was the leader in wins this year for a minute, and he's been up there. Look, he's already surpassed a few big names. I'm a huge Elliott fan. Larson's already passed him up in race wins, and Larson is by far one of the best race car drivers in the world, if not the best. If anyone ranks him below S, you need to throw the tiers away at that point.
Yep, I agree. So Larson has 3 wins this year. So I think Denny did pass him, right?
Yeah, Denny's ahead of him now. Larson got them 3 wins early though. That's what it
So
was.
that's what's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It seems like ever since Charlotte,
Mhm.
Larson hasn't been Larson, and I say that he's still finishing 10th and 9th, 8th, 5th,
Yeah.
right?
Second at
I mean,
Vegas 2 weeks ago.
right.
Like, yeah.
But I don't know what's going on with the 5 camp. I couldn't tell you, but they better show up this Sunday, or they're
Hey.
gonna have problems. I mean, they're gonna have problems,
I agree there. And Martinsville fall race has not been a great race for him. So,
right?
but at the end of the day, you take everything away. He's S tier all day long.
It's Kyle freaking Larson.
I feel like this
Chase
is where
Elliott.
the first disagreement. Okay, I want to hear your ranking on Chase. Because I'm full send listeners. I'm a huge Chase Elliott fan. That's my guy. So Tanner's gonna handle this because I'll be biased.
I think he's S tier this year.
Okay.
I think he's S tier. I want to pull up the stats just to make sure, but I mean, just from the eye test, if we're just eye testing these guys, I mean, 2 race wins, that's not great, but 17 top 10s, 10 top 5s, average finish of 12th. That's a little worse than actually what I thought it would be. I thought there
Yeah,
for a
this
while.
this past few weeks has ruined his average finish.
I know when me and you were looking at it earlier in the year, he had the best average finish. He was, I mean, he's just Mr. Consistent. He's
Yep.
Mr. Consistent. He, like Denny Hamlin said a few weeks back on the podcast, he said Chase may not be racing for the win, but he's
Mhm.
always in the mix. And that's what you saw what happened at, was it Kansas he
Yep.
won?
He was just there, right place,
He
right time, and
put himself in position to finish first. First, you must finish. Chase Elliott don't tear up a lot of equipment. Now,
mhm.
has he been wrecked out? Yeah, we saw it on Sunday, right? But he's not going to be one to go out there and make boneheaded moves. And I love him just because he's down to earth. I mean,
Yeah.
he gets out of the race car and don't even really know where he's at in the point situation. He just shows up to race. I mean, he just wants to race. I
Yeah.
don't know if he likes all the fame that he gets from the last
No.
name. I think he would much rather race, go home, and play video games and chill out with his dogs
Yep.
in Dawsonville.
And as a diehard Chase Elliott fan, I can tell you he hates it. He absolutely
Right.
hates it, and that is one reason he's one of the only drivers that does not live in Charlotte, is to stay away from all the media and the talk and all that. So he's very down to earth. I'm not going to go on about Chase because that's my guy. Denny Hamlin, this is easy, Tanner. We don't even have to
I
have a
think you next too.
conversation. Yeah, we'll
I
just go ahead and
mean,
Hamlin, possible
eh,
championship. Blaney, possible championship guy this year. Unbelievable race car drivers. Honestly, I mean, I know the Final Four won't be those four in S tier right now, but if it
right.
if it if there was a year where those four were the Final Four in the championship, you could say it's probably maybe out on a limb the best four NASCAR drivers in the series. So that's an easy S tier right there for Blaney. AJ Allmendinger, this one's tough for me because I've been sitting here
It gets
staring
tricky.
at his number, and I think I might rank him higher than what a lot of people would. I think AJ Allmendinger is a very, very solid race car driver. The guy has ran up front a lot this year. Things happen to that team for some reason, whether it's leading at Talladega on Sunday and getting wiped out from something that he didn't cause, or it's getting the pole at Bristol and then absolute chaos happening with the tires that no one was ready for, and it kind of ruined his race after he earned to be up there and no one was expecting what was going to happen. So Allmendinger to me is a B tier guy, and maybe that's me giving a little extra credit just because AJ Allmendinger has been here so long and he's done it so many different ways. And a lot of people forget AJ Allmendinger may not have the stats in the Cup Series, but he was the Kyle Larson before Kyle Larson. Like, I mean, he was the one going out racing all these things every week, just hopping in whatever he can, winning open wheel cars and dirt cars and everything. So I love AJ Allmendinger. I think he's a B tier driver, but what do you think?
I think stats over feelings. I think he's C tier personally, but I'm good with him in B tier because it is AJ freaking Allmendinger,
What
right?
what are his
But
stats this year? I'm curious about him.
7 top tens, 2 top fives.
Ah, man.
You
Yeah,
know what?
that
You know
that
the crazy stat about AJ? He's had 7 DNFs. I didn't know that.
yeah. And
So I
a
mean,
lot of it is stuff that he can't control. He gets caught up.
right.
We'll even see based off of
But if you
stats.
want him B,
No, no, no. This
I'm
is
good with B.
2025
You
stats.
you know what I wish AJ would do? And if I had the crystal ball, go race an Xfinity, brother. Go dominate that series because I think the Xfinity car fits him so much better, and I think he could be the new Allgaier, right, of Xfinity. To
Yeah.
go down there and just make your money. I guarantee you there's not an Xfinity team that wouldn't throw the bag at AJ Allmendinger to
Well,
come
he did
build
that
their
a few years
program.
ago. Now remember,
Right, with
this is
Collie.
his first full year back in Cup,
Right. But I wish.
full time. So
Okay, so I wouldn't have that opinion if it wasn't tied to colleague. If he could get in the cup and be in decent equipment like a Trackhouse or a Spire,
yeah,
I would say absolutely. But I would love to see him just go win on Saturday. Go
yeah.
win on Saturday and become a Hall of Famer that way because you have the talent to do it.
I agree with you. I agree. And
He don't have, he don't have the age now, right? The age kind of goes against him now, right? So a team's not going to. You don't take a flyer on AJ Allmendinger now.
no.
You know what you get with AJ.
AJ, love you, man. I tried to get
Yeah.
you in B. You're my guy. You're one of my guys. Sorry about it. But this is where it's going to get tough now. Now we're going to
Yep.
get into some drivers here that there's a lot of different ways it could go. Chris Buescher, how do you feel about Buescher?
A class.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I think Buescher is an A tier guy. The guy runs up front so much and just has terrible luck, just like a bunch of these drivers on this list. But Buescher's
Right.
another one of those. We don't
With
drink
Moss
Moss on
Energy?
full send,
No.
guys. Don't worry about that. Don't Nos, that was not a paid ad. That's the crazy timing. Busher's another one of those guys, man, that just hard-nosed worker. He's going to run up front. He's going to get the most out of that car. And look, A tier, I'm right there with you. There's
I
not
do
much
want to say
conversation.
though, Nos, if you want to pay us, we will totally drink Nos. By the way, if you want to pay us, you just
We
let us
we we,
know.
we could have plugged like Monster or something first,
Right,
though. No, I'm kidding. Um,
Monster or Nos, either one. I'm good with either one
Chase
personally.
Briscoe.
This might divide some people, but I think he's S tier. Last year, I would have said he was B tier. I think he's S tier. I do. I think the kid's S tier. I saw that face when I said that.
Yeah, cause I'm right there with you, and I want to say yes, and I got to keep telling myself this is 2025. We're going off for 2025, and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, I want to see it one more year. If he does this next
19 top
year,
10s,
oh
15
yeah,
top 5s, 7 pole awards, 881 laps led, an average finish of 11th, leading the points. It's
Chase
tough.
Briscoe, you're S tier. I'm sorry for everything I just
It's
said. You
it's
that
tough.
based off of those, I don't even know
Last
why
year,
I thought about it, because I told you during the show the other day he's got the most top tens, top fives. So that's
last year he would have been B, easy B,
yeah,
or maybe even below it. Honestly,
yep.
I mean, if we're being honest off stats last year, but I mean, that's your championship favorite right now. I believe that's your championship favorite. And you
Hey,
know the biggest headline? You know why I like Chase? There's no headlines about him. You know his biggest headline? He finally admitted the other day he was balding. That was on Twitter. That was going
yeah.
crazy on Twitter. That Chase Briscoe finally admits he's going bald. Like, yeah,
And
no
look,
crap, right?
you mentioned it. Is he? He might be he actually probably is the favorite. If a Penske car does not make it to the Final Four,
I think he's favorite.
Chase Briscoe's the favorite all day long.
I think I think
Man, I can't believe we're saying that. Like, it sounds so weird, but I'm
if
so happy to say it for him. That's
if Blaney makes championship four, he's not the favorite. I think if Logano makes championship four, I'm
he,
still gonna push my money on Briscoe and say he's still the favorite.
hey, if
I
you're
think
favored
Blaney's the
over a
only guy
Penske
that
car at Phoenix, then you got it going on.
right. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, I mean, not really. That's that, but and it's not even that Logano's not gonna do. It's just Chase Briscoe might actually. He might dominate that race. I mean,
I think
who's
he's
to
better.
say he doesn't? Like,
I think he's better.
yeah,
I don't
this
think he's better
year.
than Blaney there, but I think he's better than Logano.
Got another tough one. Bale.
I don't know where to put. I'm gonna lay out. I'm gonna look up the stats and we'll let you take it from here because I don't. Oh, I'm curious to see where you go with him.
I think we gotta go S. I think we got to. The guy is a phenomenal
Think
race
you
car
have to.
driver. He's the highest of after the first two that are locked in. He's the next guy with the highest points going in the championship for. He's had a great year, and honestly, I mean, he's where he is in points, and he hadn't been dominating. Like you don't. There's I don't remember many races this year. The
21
Bell
top
is
10
yeah. That he's S tier.
has a better average finish than Briscoe or Larson. That's what I've looked up recently. Better average finish than both of them.
Christopher Bell, you are S tier, my friend. See if you can lock
This is where it's
yourself
gonna
in
get.
this weekend. I know where I want to put Barry.
I'm curious here.
I want to put Barry B. I want to put Josh Berry B tier. He has a
But
win
you
at
said
Vegas.
you said BC separated by wins, right? And he, like you said, he won at Vegas.
Yep. He won at Vegas. He had a race win locked up. I think it was New Hampshire a few weeks ago. He
Yes.
basically had a race win locked up. He was the best car there that whole race and kept having to go to the back of the field. And everybody says these next gen cars you can't pass. He drove through the field a few
Oh, my beer.
times.
Right.
Yeah, and Josh Berry I think has had a great year for his standards. And look,
Was one of the best cars at Dega, by the way. Led a
yeah,
bunch of laps at Dega.
yes he did. And look, the guy made the playoffs and had the most miserable first round I think anyone's ever had in playoff history.
All out of his control, by the way, except
Yeah,
maybe one.
I mean, what first lap at Darlington. I forget what the second incident was. And then I remember Bristol catching on fire. Like
On fire.
it was just absolute chaos for Josh Berry, and I hate that for him because he had a great regular season. So, the Las Vegas winner has to be B tier. That was beginning of the
Ooh.
year, and man, was that a surprise when we seen that 21. And look, he didn't win Las Vegas at the beginning of the year off of like a last lap pass or
No,
nothing.
he dominated.
He dominated the race.
He
He
was
led the
guy.
most laps. He was the guy to beat that day. So,
6
Joey,
top 10s, 3 top 5s for Josh Berry.
see those stats to me just they don't paint his picture. to me. He
Nope.
has had a really
Nine
good year.
DNFs. Nine
That
DNFs.
paints the picture a little
3 of them
more.
came in the
The
playoffs,
first
right?
round of the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ups and downs this year. But look, he has a race
Joey
win at
Logano.
Vegas. Yeah, this is where
I
I'm A
don't.
tier. Off of
Cool.
2025 performance, I am A tier.
We've had Joey Logano arguments before. I'm good with it.
You think B?
No, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay.
He's 11 top 10, 6 top 5s, 2 poles, average finish of 15.8, so round up to 16. I'm good. I'm
You don't sound
good,
good
really
with it,
good.
Tanner.
I'm good with it.
Where do you want him?
I'm good with A.
Okay.
He should be A. He should be A. It's like you think of Joey Logano, he's a playoff driver, really. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point in his career, like I said in the podcast the other day, Penske will falter for most of the season. You say, "Hey guys, playoffs starting this week." They put
And
their nose to
here's
the ground, they
Penske.
get to it.
Yep.
Yep.
Bubba Wallace. If I was ranking, I'm just gonna say this. If I was ranking this off of Bubba Wallace versus Bubba Wallace, 2025 would have been S tier for his career so far.
Oh yeah.
I think if you're ranking it against the rest of the series, he's tough, man. Is he
He's
B
A
or is
class.
he A? He's A. I
He's
think he's
A.
A. The
I think he's
Indianapolis
A.
winner. Look, he's ran up front. Who's to say he didn't have Vegas won the other week before? Or no, Kansas. Yeah, it was Kansas.
Kansas,
Who's
wasn't
to
it?
say
Yep.
he didn't have Kansas won the other week
He
before
could be a championship 4 driver, by the way, because he almost won Kansas
and he almost
and
won Dega.
almost won
Yeah.
Dega. He could be. So let me just read off that 1 win, 14 top 10s. That's a great season for Bubba, bro.
Yeah, that
14
is really
top
good.
10s, 6 top 5s.
He's been the leader of 2311 this year, and that's huge because they have.
That's huge.
Yeah, because Tyler Reddick is one of the best race car drivers in the series, and Bubba has outperformed Reddick
Yep.
most Sundays this year.
Yep.
And look, winning it at Indianapolis, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. And Bubba went and won that race. He didn't
There's
luck
not
into
very many that
it.
get to kiss the bricks.
No.
And he got to kiss the bricks.
He took that race from some of the heavy hitters. He took that race from a few of those S tier guys and said, "No, this is my
Yep.
race," and
Yep.
outdueled Kyle Larson at Indianapolis. That's a huge accomplishment.
I feel like Bubba, the 23 car, their biggest step forward or biggest leap up this year has been their mile and a half program. It
Oh,
used
yeah.
to just be Kansas was his wheelhouse, and
Yep.
it was like a Richmond with Austin Dillon, right? He would just show up and be good there. But I mean, now
They're showing up everywhere.
any mile and a half,
Yeah.
they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Watch out for that 23 car next year. I think multiple wins next year would be their goal and farther in the playoffs. And I think it's very accomplishable for them. So Willie B. William Byron. This is tough.
Just even a debate. It must be a debate. Let me hear it.
No, I'm just
No, let me hear it.
I'm
Put it on me.
No, I think he's S. I think he's S tier.
We're having a lot of S tier drivers. I mean, there's going to be a lot of S tier guys, but you think he's S? I just want to see if I can talk you out of putting him in S or not.
I didn't want
He has to be S.
I think he
has
has
to
to be, but it is hard to put him there. I will say that. And I hate saying that because he's really good. But is he Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell good this year?
Who wins 15 top 10s, 10 top 5s? So his stats are actually worse than what I thought they were. I think
A tier off of 2025.
I might be cool with A tier.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with it. If we're thinking of Willie B in the future, because he's still really young,
Yeah.
I could go S tier. But if we're looking just this past season, I'm good with A tier.
Yeah, I think A
absolutely
tier is, and he's the top of the A tier. He's the next guy
Right.
out from the S tier. He's the leader of that group. He's the leader of that pack. If he had one or two more wins, and look, he's had chances to get those wins and had some very unfortunate circumstances happen. William Byron is a force to be reckoned with. He still has a chance to make it in the Final Four. By no means, and look, it could change, but by no means do I think if he makes it to the Final Four, is he a championship favorite over Hamlin, Briscoe, or even a Bell. I think that's kind of where the difference between the S and the A is any of the guys in the S tier when they show up to Phoenix, if whoever out of that group is in Phoenix, any of them could be the favorite and go win it. I think you would take any of them over Byron though at Phoenix. So I think A tier is good. He's the first guy out of the S tier. Tyler Reddick is going to be a tough one. If you base it off his talent and potential and this and all these other factors, I think he's A or S. But if you base it off of the 2025 performance, I'm between a B and an A for Reddick. What do you think, Tanner?
So Reddick's, we're not giving him fair treatment, right? Because we're ranking him based off the name Reddick. You know,
No, yeah.
like you said, he should be, I mean, easily A tier, possibly S tier, right? But it's been a down year for Reddick.
It
You just
has.
said 2 people ago, Bubba Wallace has been the leading car for 2311. Reddick, 14 top 10s, 7 top 5s. When he's good, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like maybe it's the lawsuit, maybe it's other factors.
Hang on. For no wins, Reddick hadn't won this year. Am I the host of a wow? That shocks me. That shocks me. I thought he got a win. Yeah, so he's got to be B. I think this year. I think this year is a B tier.
We're gonna get flamed in the comments, but I'm good with it. I'm good with that too.
A winless Tyler Reddick. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a down year for Tyler Reddick.
Absolutely.
I mean, championship 4 driver last year. Let's not forget. He was in Phoenix in the Final 4, and this year to not have a win, and I mean, that's a down year for Tyler Reddick. And look, another guy has he had a down year? Has it been just kind of what we get with Alex Bowman? I mean, where are we ranking Alex Bowman? You know, he's another one of those guys where it's like, man, you're in Hendrick Performance, but
I'm a hater when it comes to Bowman. I'm a hater because of what you just said. He is in top of the line equipment, and he has the stats of wow. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, 16 top 10s.
Yeah, he's been decent this year. He's been decent.
6 top 5s, 2 pole awards.
I just think that's kind of Alex Bowman's.
You get what you get with it.
Yeah, he's same with Austin Dillon. That's what it's going to be with Alex Bowman. He's another one of those guys too. He's not going to tear up a bunch of your stuff. He's going to show up. He's going to get you points. I mean, I think B tier. I think we got to put Alex Bowman in the B tier. We can't put him A.
When I think of Alex Bowman, and this is going to sound awful to say, but when I hear Bowman's name, I think, man, get him out of that seat, put somebody else in that seat.
Yeah.
And that's just, maybe I'm a hater, right, in that aspect.
If it's a good...
Right, yeah,
good option.
Put Connor Zillage in that seat.
Yes.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, put a Tyler Reddick in that seat.
Yep.
Put somebody like that in that seat. Give me Kyle freaking Busch in that seat. Give me something. You know, that's just where my mind goes with Bowman.
Kyle Busch in the 48 would be crazy.
It would be crazy.
Alex Bowman, where he started. I think B tier. That's fair.
I'm good with that.
All right, so you just sparked all the comments up with Reddick and Bowman and all that. I'm gonna spark them up with Gibbs. I think Gibbs is C tier. I think he is. I mean, as you can see, 3 of the final 4 in the Phoenix are possibly going to be JGR cars, and Ty Gibbs has yet to pick up a win. He's yet to pick up a win in his NASCAR career in Ty Gibbs equipment. He hasn't had a great year here either. He was basically dominating Bristol a few weeks ago, and self-inflicted.
Something always happens.
Yeah,
something always happens.
And Bristol was straight self-inflicted. It was a speeding penalty on pit road that on a green flag stop at Bristol. You can't have that happen, and I think he's C tier, and that's Ty Gibbs. I think if he had a win, I could possibly see him in B. But what do you feel?
I agree. I think if his name wasn't on the side of the building, I don't know if he would have a ride in a few years.
At Gibbs.
Let's just
at
Gibbs.
Yeah.
At Gibbs.
I think he could have a ride in smaller teams. But yeah, at Gibbs, no. And look, who's to say he still does have a ride? I mean, I know he's.
I think that seat's heating up. I think that seat is getting warm underneath him.
Look,
I think it is.
Family's family, and
that's
cool and all.
Business is business.
This is business, yeah, and you got to perform. And when we go hire a guy like Chase Briscoe, in his very first year in this equipment, he comes in and is winning races, has the best stats in the series, and now going to the Final 4 to maybe win it. I mean, that says a lot, That says a lot.
You got people like Corey Heim out there itching for a seat.
Yeah.
Toyota don't want to. Toyota's been known to build these guys and lose them, right? Because there's just not enough seats to fill.
Yep.
For the names, right?
Yep.
It'd be a big head scratcher to see Toyota let Corey Heim run, right? And where's the seat open up?
Yeah.
What seat opens up for him? If it's not this upcoming year, damn it, it better be the next year, right? They
Yeah.
better, or he's gonna be grass is greener somewhere else type of guy.
Yep. And look, if we just sat here and said Ty Gibbs dominated Bristol, and you're mentioning Corey Heim. Corey Heim finished sixth in that Bristol race that Ty Gibbs dominated, and Gibbs, I don't even think, finished top 15 after the speeding penalty. So that just goes to show you that Ty Gibbs, he may have speed, but something always, he does bring a lot of mistakes onto himself. Corey Heim, going to bring inconsistency and hopefully stack up some good finishes for you. And look, I'll show Ty Gibbs some love. He did shove Chase Briscoe to the win Sunday and help a teammate after just a few weeks ago. There was quite a bit of Joe Gibbs Racing drama centered around
Yep.
what kind of teammate Ty Gibbs was. So good to see that guy go out there and shove a teammate, across the line for a victory. And I think C is just where it is. This is another one that's going to get a little Michael McDowell.
If every race was a road course to the speedway, he'd be A class, right? But
Yeah.
sadly, there's a lot of mile and a half sprinkled in. Let me pull up McDowell's stats because right now, thinking it screams C class to me, right? But
Yeah.
let me just make sure. I'm sure you probably kind of think along the same right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Michael McDowell is one of those guys that he's right there with like a Cindric. He's kind of the leader of the C tier to me. Like he's one of the
Yeah,
top C
five
tier
top
guys.
tens, three top fives.
Yeah, that's it. Michael McDowell to C tier seems
I'm trying to
that's
pull up his
right.
top fives right now. And so, uh, Mexico, Mexico City, that was a fifth place finish. Sonoma, fourth place finish. Charlotte, Roval, fifth place finish. So, like I said, he's great on the road courses. That's where his top fives come from. And if I look at his top tens, wait a second, let me do this now. I know we're taking a lot of time here, but let me just see. Scroll down the list. Top 10 at, I don't even see a top. New Hampshire. Okay, that's a little different. And I mean, unless I'm blind, that's all I'm seeing.
That might be it.
Okay, well, it says he should have another top 10, but oh, Charlotte,
Charlotte,
600.
okay.
Yep, he finished seventh.
Hey,
So I
that's
mean,
a long race. Finished seventh,
yep,
and good for good.
yep,
He's right there, C tier though. I think that, and look, I think Michael McDowell would not argue. I mean, obviously he would disagree because every race car driver thinks they're the best race car driver in the series. But look, and I think C tier is a good. Like I said, he's the top of the C tier. He's building that Spire team. We just opened the show up talking
right.
about how Spire is building and growing, and Michael McDowell is a huge part of that.
I think he's bigger than his stats. I think he brings more to the table
Yes, he is a
than
team
stats.
leader. He is
Yep,
a bundle of experience. He's the locker room guy. I picture Michael
yep,
McDowell as like the locker room guy. Every locker room, you need that guy that's full of enthusiasm and good spirit, and is going to perform, to the best he can, not tear up anything, not get you a bunch of penalties on the football field. Michael McDowell is the locker room guy for Spire, and I love Michael McDowell. I think he's a great story. I think C tier is right there where he belongs.
we're about to argue.
Are we?
I think we're about to argue.
Carson Hocevar.
What do you think? Lay it on me. I can't spell his dang name to even look him up.
It's tough. This is tough. It's not tough up high. It's tough between B and C to me.
Yep.
Um,
9 top tens, 2 top fives. But he's a guy that's been in the mix so
look,
much and
he's
gets himself in
had
trouble.
quite a few races this year that he had one, and stuff happened.
Michigan is a glaring one to me, right? They did a crazy pit call. I can't remember even what they did, but
Yeah,
it was something.
he had Michigan one. He was coming to take the white flag as the leader of the spring Atlanta race before a caution came
Yep.
out. Charlotte, the 600, he's leading with like 30 or 40 to go, blows the right rear.
Yep.
I mean, the guy he showed the speed.
I think he's a guy too that, yes, NASCAR is a what have you done for me recently type of sport, but I think Hocevar, he's another guy bigger than the stats this year.
Talking
I
about
think
future, yeah.
I think he's a top 7 driver, perhaps, maybe top 5 in the next few years if Spire continues on their upward trajectory.
Are we going B?
I think B. I think B for Carson Hocevar, but it's more of, like I said, it's more of a future,
Yep, the potential.
more so than what have you done for me recently.
Yep, I'll be right there with you. This next one might spark some some drama.
We got where you putting him at? I've thought about this guy the entire list, and I put that on everything. I have sat here and racked my head. Where the heck do you put SVG at?
We need there needs to be an old and separate tier for SVG called Road Course King or something.
Right,
But look,
right.
the guy's figuring it out on ovals, man. I mean, the last three
Yes.
ovals we went to, he's been
I
up
want to look at
front.
his stats. I want to look up SVG stats. I've been a stats guy all day. Let me just go ahead and continue that trend. Shane Van.
I mean, what was his first top 10, I think, was Kansas. Just
All
a
right,
few races ago for ovals.
5 race wins,
Yep.
7 top tens. His top fives have been his race wins. 5.
I think we gotta go S tier.
I
He's got more wins than everyone on that list except Denny. I think.
And I mean, back in the day, yes, I realized NASCAR only went to 2 road courses: Watkins Glen, Sonoma. I mean, NASCAR is more than just a let's turn left racing league now,
Yeah.
right? They are left turns, right turns. I mean, they go to road courses.
I think he's S tier, Tanner. I think he's got to be.
Man, if
And
he figures it out, if he gets even 5% better on ovals, NASCAR's in big trouble.
he wins a
Big
race
trouble.
on an oval this year, he's the leader of the S tier group, I think. Like, if he would have.
But you're right. I agree with that.
He is one of the best drivers in NASCAR by far.
I think if he even starts just rattling off top tens at a mile and a half or a
He's
normal
getting there.
track,
He's had 2 now. Kansas was his first
NASCAR
one, and he's got another one since then already. So, I,
NASCAR wants parity. If that man gets even remotely decent at road or at ovals, NASCAR's got big problems. And they better hope Connor Zilisch is along the same type of driver as he is, right? Or
yep.
it's going to get pretty boring for NASCAR fans.
So the first show I mentioned that we're gonna have a part of the show where we say hot takes, and we mention one crazy take. We're gonna rebrand it, and we're gonna have one full send. I'm gonna have one full send every
That
show.
was catchy. That was
Okay.
catchy what you did there. Good job.
My full send for 2026. Shane Van Gisbergen wins an oval in 2026. That is my full send for next year. I am sending that out there. It's going to happen. I'm putting it in the universe. When he wins on an oval in 2026, I'm going to come back to this part of this show, and I'm going to clip it and send it to everyone. I think he gets it done.
All right.
I think he gets it
My
done.
full send is the guy we're ranking next. I bet he's the worst Spire car
Dang,
next
Tanner,
season.
full
I'm
sends are
not.
supposed to be positive.
I know. I'm not. So we had to be unbiased breaking the news and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm not high on this move at all. I'm actually in the gutter. I'm as low as you can be on this move, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
So we talked him up. We had to, right? But I think this next driver, he's C tier to me, and
Okay.
I think there's a list of who's who that could have been put in that 7 car for next season if Spire wanted to continue building up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look.
Call me the hater.
There's a lot of names in the Xfinity series. I don't know. I will like to see where it goes. I'm glad
Right.
Suarez is getting another chance. Now, I don't think he's gonna go out and win races. I don't think he's gonna, rattle off top fives. Is he gonna uptick the performance from Justin Haley? I do believe that. I do think he is a better option as far as that goes. Do I agree with you? He will be the worst car at Spire. I do agree with you, but not a knock to Suarez. I think
Right.
Hocevar and McDowell are just that
Better.
much better race car drivers. Yeah, I love Michael McDowell and Hocevar. The kid's got. If you go off just pure talent in NASCAR, I think behind Kyle Larson and SVG, I think Carson Hocevar is probably right there. He's hand in hand with Tyler Reddick as far as just one of the most talented drivers in the series off pure raw talent.
Can you imagine NASCAR Twitter, NASCAR Garage, all of it? If Spire would have went out, put the money where their mouth is, and landed Heim time
Oh
for that
man,
7.
I talked about it on the show Tuesday.
You tried to speak it into existence.
I was
You
wanting
did.
it to happen because I honestly thought if Corey, I'm a Corey Heim believer. I know
I am too.
I'm Heim time all day long. I think he gets to the Cup Series, and as soon as he gets in a I say a decent car. I don't even think he doesn't have to be in a Hendrick car. He doesn't have to be Penske. And I think once he gets in a decent car, I think we're going to be talking about him right there in that A-B driver. He's going to be another Chris Buescher who can rattle off a few wins every year. He's going to be another Bubba Wallace who can rattle off a couple wins a year. And who's to say if he doesn't get in top tier equipment, he's not up there with the Blaneys and Briscoes and all those guys. And Corey Heim, look, NASCAR's future's bright. Between Corey Heim coming out of the Truck Series and Connor Zilisch coming out of the Xfinity Series, I mean, you got two studs just laying back, waiting. And Zilisch is going to have his time next year, so we're going to get to see. And, man, I'll tell you what, if we were ranking Connor Zilisch on this tier list right now,
he'd be S.
I think,
he would
have to be an S-tier driver just off of what he's did this year. So,
right.
Well, there you have it, guys. That is the first full send tier rankings for 2025. As you can see, we got Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, Blaney, Briscoe, Bell, and SVG is the S tier. I mean, look.
Let us know down below how dumb our takes are. Just
Yeah,
let us know
let us
because
know.
dude, we're race fans first, right? And I mean that to the core. We are absolute race fans. We live and breathe NASCAR, whether it's trucks, Xfinity, Cup, it does not matter. Xfinity's been my favorite series to watch for the last 3 years, right? So, I mean, through and through NASCAR fans. So, but there, at the end of the day, it's opinion based, right? Yes, I did go look at the stats just to try to help back up some of the takes, stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it's all opinion based. Now, I know we went long here, Chris, but before we wrap it up,
Yeah.
I want to go through, let's do our predictions for this week for each series here. Well, who do we think walks away with? Do they still do the grandfather clock? I heard on
The fall
Hamlin's
race,
podcast.
yeah.
I heard on his podcast that company went out of business. Like they folded up. So I don't know if they do the grandfather clocks.
Oh, that's breaking. That's big. Then I haven't listened to Actions Detrimental yet. I started it, so that's
Google machine. I would go Google machine.
man. That is a legendary trophy. I hope not.
Yep.
I
Does
hope
Martinsville
not.
still give out the grandfather clock?
Man, I hope
The
not.
company that currently produces the Martinsville grandfather clock is set to close, partly due to being adversely affected by tariffs.
Wow.
Wow.
That's big, man. That clock is legendary. That clock is legendary. Hopefully
You couldn't in the late '90s. You couldn't go to a grandparents' house without seeing a grandfather
No.
clock, right? I mean, my
No.
grandparents, I think, got 3 of them. You go over, you wind them or whatever. I mean, but still, okay. Truck series.
Yeah. I got a wild one. I've been thinking about this one all day. We talked about Tricon's dominance. We talked about Corey Heim winning. Rosario gets to win last weekend. Brent Cruz wins
Okay,
Martinsville in the Tricon 1 truck. And the reason I'm saying Brent Cruz, the guy's got limited starts this year. He has ran up front. He's in the equipment. I think he's a damn good race car driver. He had the Roval one a few weeks ago. And a late race caution kind of flipped the race on its head. And he ended up having to chase his teammate Corey Heim and just couldn't get it done in time. So I think he gets redemption. I think the playoff guys kind of battle each other through the race and knock some fenders in and maybe hurt a playoff driver's chances of winning. And I think Brent Cruz continues Tricon's dominance at Martinsville in the trucks.
Those truckers, as Michael Walker calls them,
Yep.
they get a little down and dirty, right?
Oh, yeah.
Xfinity is going to be wild. It's been wild. Cup, I think, it's going to be tame. But those truckers, I mean, they'll junk you for 17th, bro. I mean, they absolutely will junk you for 17th.
And no one is safe. The next car behind Heim is only plus 14. So there are 6 guys still going for 3 spots. So it is going to be
Give
hectic.
me Chandler Smith.
Okay. That's a good,
Chandler
solid
Smith.
pick. Smith's been at for a lot at Martinsville.
And Smith has been good actually all season. He's been really good all season. Had a little down year midway through, but Chandler Smith didn't. I've watched him win. Well, I've watched him race numerous times down at the fairgrounds. So give me Chandler Smith.
I like it.
Xfinity Series. Who do you got?
Man, this one was tough. And the reason this one was tough, that Xfinity fall race, man, you never know what's going to happen at the end.
The favorites are just not the favorites when you go to a place like Martinsville.
Even that, but man, these guys in Xfinity Series on Saturday night, they use the bumpers, and they have no care about the other cars at all.
They'll fight you after the race too. That's Austin Hill.
Yeah. And this one was tough just because I could see the race getting haywire. But I'm going Sammy Smith in the 8 car. He's right there on the battle. I think he's the junior motorsports car that is still good on points at the moment, with Carson Quaffle being just outside of it. I think JRM gets 3 cars in the Final Four. They've already basically got Allgaier and Zilich, even though neither are locked in on wins. They're basically locked in on points. I think they are locked in on points, actually. I think JRM gets 3 cars in. I think it's the 8 car Sammy Smith. I thought he was going to win at Dega last weekend. He was looking strong at the end. Austin Hill said, no, hold my beer. I run the super speedways, so I do think Sammy Smith gets it done.
I'm going to a guy that's ran up front numerous times there. Got killed by Joe Gibbs, or not Joe Gibbs, sorry, excuse me, Ty Gibbs. I'm going Brandon Jones. I'm going Brandon Jones.
Solid pick.
In the 19.
Okay.
I think it's 19, right?
Yeah.
Is he in the 19 now?
Yeah.
Why am I having a brain fart? Like, no, he's in the 20. He's in the 20. Almirola is in the 19 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep. It used to be 19. He left and come back. Okay. Yep. All right. Now to the nitty-gritty Cup Series.
Well, we made our Cup picks on Tuesday, so I'm going to reiterate mine. I'm riding with my boy
Don't
Chase
do that
Elliott.
to me.
I got to. I'm riding with it.
You tell him behind the scenes who you're going with, and he steals it.
We posted on our Facebook, the Full Send Facebook yesterday, the last 3 Martinsville races, Elliott has finished 3rd, 2nd, and 4th. He led the most laps last fall, got passed by Ryan Blaney with 30 or 40 to go. Blaney had a really good long run car, and he used it. I think Chase gets it done. I'm hoping Chase gets it done, and that's what I got. I think it's a pretty tame race. I think Chase qualifies up front and locks it up.
I hate you. I was hoping you went different this time, but
I can't do it.
So my heart of heart, if I'm placing money down, I'm going Chase Elliott. I just feel like it's the scripts wrote for him. I think the script is actually when he finished 40th at Dega, it was signed, sealed, delivered. Chase was winning.
Yep.
Martinsville, but
that was my thought process too.
We've made bets on this guy, Dennis the Menace. Give me Denny Hamlin, the 11 car. I'm telling you, it's his year. It's bigger than him this year. He's been in a little bit of drama, but not like normal, right? Normally, there's receipts that get cashed on Denny late in the season, right? The only drama really is just on freaking teammate, right? I mean, and his car he owns too. If you want to be honest about that, I forgot about that.
A lot of
That's
news
a pretty
going
big drama.
in that today. By the way, there's going to be some big breaking news. I think this afternoon. I think they're still in court right now for some settlement hearings. So
no phones. Bob Parker said no phones, can't have nothing in there. So I think the gloves are coming off in that courtroom right now as we're speaking.
Yep.
And
you'll hear about it on the Full Send X page and the Facebook page. As soon as we get any news for it, we're going to go ahead and get that out to you guys.
I'm scared kind of in a weird way of what's going to happen with that.
It's a nerve-wracking feeling because you don't know.
Because, I mean, we've heard Freddie Kraft's been very open about it, saying that Reddick has a out clause. Yeah. If they're not a charter team next year, Reddick can say, deuces, I'm out. Yeah. And if that happens, NASCAR silly season just got flipped over on its lid.
Where's he going?
Because there's going to put him in the 48. Put him in the 48.
Oh.
You don't let a talent like that. I don't care if there's contracts. I'm not a lawyer, right? So I don't understand it. But if contracts be damn, money outweighs all.
And if there's a guy that's
got it, put him in the car.
It's Rick Hendrick. That would be crazy. Hey, look, who's it could very easily happen. I know Tuesday we were throwing out some bold, crazy ideas with Kyle Busch going here, or Heim to Spire. The Tyler Reddick leaving 2311 is actually probably one of the most realistic.
That would be company killing too, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I think without being a charter, then you lose Reddick. Yes, I know Bubba Wallace. It brings in a ton of funding behind him, right? But I think you're looking at the dying days of a Michael Waltrip Racing's type of deal if they was to lose Tyler Reddick.
Big time in NASCAR right now with all that going on. So you're going. So we're both rocking with Elliott for the Cup Series.
No, Denny Hamlin. I changed my pick. Denny Hamlin.
I thought you just threw it in as an extra to have it.
No, okay. I'm
glad. I like hearing you go, Denny. So I'm going with Elliott for the Xfinity Series, guys. We're gonna go with Sammy Smith and Brandon Jones. And in the trucks here, we're going Chandler Smith and we are going Brent Cruz. If any of those guys win their races, trust us, you're going to hear about it. We're going to come in here and do our show, and we're going to keep track of this. This will be something through the weeks. I know the season's almost over, So we're gonna have a short record this year, but starting next year when the season cracks back up, me and Tanner, we're gonna keep track of the
And we're
the,
both
the
really
weekly.
competitive.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep track of the weekly winners and see who comes out on top at the end. Leave some comments, drop down below. You know who you think's gonna win. Tell us all three series. Who you think you got. You know taking it home. Could be a crazy, crazy week for the playoffs. I mean Martinsville. I don't think any series ever goes there and the playoff picture doesn't get flipped. So
Right.
with how tight the trucks are very tight. I think the trucks are the tightest points battle out of all three series this weekend. Like I said, Carruth is in second in points. He's only plus 14. So I mean he could have a average day, running 16th or 17th, and somebody finish 6th or 7th and gather a ton of stage points could outpoint him. So nobody's safe. Everyone's going to be on edge in the truck series. Tune in to the CW for the Xfinity Series, guys. If you have not watched the fall Martinsville Xfinity race, it is probably one of the most wild races every single year. Dale Jr. ran it a few years ago and left that place going, what the hell just happened? Because there was just chaos. And then, Sunday we got the Cup Series. One final shot going to Phoenix. Who's going to do it? And Tanner, you got anything you want to add, man? I'm looking forward to Martinsville.
One final a note. The Martinsville racing actually starts tonight. Mazda Miatas at Martinsville, live on the IMSA YouTube channel. Starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. I saw it on Twitter this morning, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. But that is we think they tested stuff in Xfinity. Them boys junk. You know what?
All right, we're gonna be tuning into that
Miata
for sure.
6 p.m. tonight Eastern. Check it out on the IMSA page. And other than that, I mean, that's all I got. Give us a like, hit the subscribe button. I'm telling you, I know we see every day there's a new YouTube channel with somebody talking something, right?
Yep.
We are very, very, very serious about this. We want this to become something bigger than us, right? So we are very, very passionate about it. So if you hit that subscribe button, I checked it probably 30 times yesterday. I don't know what our video had views wise, but I'm hoping it only climbs, right? And I'm sure I'm putting up views because I check it constantly. So we are very serious about this. I only know how to do something one way, and that's full send. And that's what we do here at Full Send Racing League. So
there you go.
Shout out to Mackie. Shout out to y'all. And until next time.
Yeah, man. Until next time, everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the races.